Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. William Lai, physician, scientist, and author of Eat to Beat Disease. And today I'm going to share with you the only 5 food rules you need to know to heal your body and prevent disease. You don't need a complicated diet. You don't need to memorize hundreds of superfoods. You just need to understand your body's natural defense systems and how certain foods can activate those systems. Let's dive in. Let's start with one of the most revolutionary ideas in modern medicine. You can eat to starve disease. This concept flips the script on how we think about food and health. Most people believe that food is only about calories, energy, or maybe weight control, but that's outdated thinking. What science now tells us is this: certain foods have the power to block the blood supply that diseases like cancer need to grow. This is called anti-angiogenesis. And once you understand it, it changes how you look at your plate forever. So, what is angiogenesis? Simply put, it's the process your body uses to grow new blood vessels. It's a normal and essential part of healing and development. You need it when you cut your skin, you need it when you're growing as a child. But like many natural processes, angiogenesis has to be carefully regulated. Too little of it, and you can't heal wounds or recover from injury. But too much of it, and diseases start to hijack your body. Here's where it gets really important. Cancer, obesity, vision loss, and Alzheimer's have all been linked to abnormal angiogenesis. In the case of cancer, a tumor begins as a harmless cluster of cells. But when it turns on angiogenesis, it essentially builds its own private blood supply, bringing in oxygen and nutrients so it can grow, invade, and even spread. That's when it becomes dangerous. So the big question is, can we stop that blood supply from forming? The answer is yes. And food is one of the most powerful tools we have to do it. There are foods that naturally inhibit angiogenesis, and they do it without side effects. In fact, many of these foods are probably already in your kitchen. Tomatoes, for example, are rich in lycopene, a compound shown to reduce abnormal vessel growth. In one study, men who ate cooked tomatoes regularly had a significantly lower risk of prostate cancer. Why? Because lycopene accumulates in the prostate and disrupts the blood supply to microtumors, literally starving them before they can grow. Green tea is another remarkable food. It contains catechins, powerful antioxidants that, among other things, interfere with the signals that tumors send out to stimulate angiogenesis. Drinking just a few cups a day can lower the risk of several cancers, so he's often misunderstood. But fermented soy products like miso and tempeh contain genistein, a natural compound that's also anti-angiogenic. It doesn't just block the blood vessels feeding tumors, it can also slow the spread of cancer cells. And let's not forget berries. Blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, these little fruits are packed with ellagic acid and anthocyanins that suppress the formation of blood vessels that feed disease. They're delicious, they're accessible, and they're medicine. When I speak to patients or to the public, I remind them that the foods that work against angiogenesis are not exotic or hard to find. They're in your grocery store, they're in your garden, they're in your lunchbox. This isn't about some restrictive diet. It's about using what nature already gives us, smartly and consistently. Now, this doesn't mean that food replaces medicine. If you're undergoing cancer treatment or managing a chronic disease, you need your doctor. But what this science tells us is that food can be part of the solution. It can complement traditional medicine, support your body's natural defenses, and tip the odds in your favor. Here's something else we've discovered. Anti-angiogenic foods don't just help with cancer, they also help with obesity because fat tissue requires new blood vessels to expand. If you can cut off that blood supply, you may actually shrink fat naturally. Same goes for age-related vision loss, which, believe it or not, is one of the leading causes of blindness. That disease is caused by abnormal blood vessel growth in the back of the eye, and diet plays a critical role in controlling it. So the next time you sit down for a meal, ask yourself, is this going to feed disease or fight it? That's the beauty of anti-angiogenic eating. It's not about deprivation. It's about empowerment. It's not about fear. It's about using science to make choices that help your body heal, defend, and thrive. You have more control than you think. Food isn't just sustenance. It's a tool for defense, repair, and resilience. And that power, it's right there on your plate. One of the most underappreciated organs in the body isn't in your chest or your brain, it's in your gut. In fact, it's not even human. I'm talking about your gut microbiome, the community of 39 trillion bacteria living inside your intestines. These microbes aren't invaders, they're allies. When they're balanced and well fed, they help your body heal, defend itself from disease, and even shape your mood and metabolism. And perhaps most importantly, they play a central role in your immune system. Here's what most people don't realize. About 70% of your immune system is located in your gut. That means the strength of your immunity, your resistance to infection, even your response to vaccines. All of it is influenced by what's happening in your digestive tract. And that system is not powered by supplements or pills, it's powered by food. The gut microbiome is like a rainforest. It's rich, diverse, and dynamic. The healthier and more diverse your microbes are, the more resilient your body becomes. They produce anti-inflammatory compounds. They help regulate your immune responses. They can even train your immune cells to distinguish between friend and foe, so you're protected against threats without attacking your own body. That's right, a healthy microbiome can help prevent autoimmune disease. So, how do you feed and support this powerful internal ecosystem? It starts with fiber-rich plant foods. Most people are eating far too little fiber, yet this is the preferred food of your healthy gut bacteria. Think of fiber as prebiotic fertilizer. It helps good microbes grow and flourish. When you eat vegetables, fruits, legumes, whole grains, and seeds, you're not just feeding yourself, you're feeding trillions of microbes that are working on your behalf. But it gets even better when these bacteria ferment fiber in your gut. They produce short chain fatty acids like butyrate. These compounds do incredible things. They lower inflammation, help regulate your metabolism, and maintain the integrity of the gut barrier. That's crucial because a strong gut barrier keeps pathogens and toxins from leaking into your bloodstream and triggering immune reactions. Now let's talk about fermented foods. These are foods that contain live beneficial bacteria or probiotics. Yogurt, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut, miso, and tempeh are all examples. When you consume them, you're actually replenishing your gut with good microbes. In one recent study, people who added fermented foods to their diet for just 10 weeks saw a measurable improvement in microbial diversity and a significant reduction in inflammatory markers. That's powerful. And that's just food. There's also an important synergy between fermented foods and fiber. It's not enough to add probiotics if you're not feeding them. Think of it like planting seeds, but never watering the soil. The combination of prebiotics, fiber, and probiotics, fermented foods, is what really drives gut healing and immune activation. Let me give you a real world example. I once had a patient who was struggling with chronic inflammation, autoimmune flares, digestive issues, and constant fatigue. She tried elimination diets, supplements, even immunosuppressive drugs. But when we focus on nourishing the gut microbiome with a steady supply of fermented foods and diverse plant fibers, her symptoms began to ease. Not overnight, but steadily, week after week. Her energy came back, her flares quieted. That's the power of rebalancing the gut. But it's not just about adding foods, it's also about minimizing the things that damage the microbiome. Ultra-processed foods, artificial sweeteners, and excessive antibiotics can wipe out healthy gut bacteria. So if you're serious about healing your body from the inside out, it's not just about probiotics and kale. It's about protecting the gut from harm. One of the most exciting areas of research right now is how the microbiome interacts with the brain. This is called the gut-brain axis. We now know that gut microbes can produce neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, and GABA. They influence your mood, your memory, even your risk of depression. That's right, your emotional resilience might be linked to what you're feeding your microbes. And there's more. The microbiome even affects your response to cancer treatment. New studies show that people with certain gut bacteria profiles respond better to immunotherapy. In other words, the health of your gut might determine whether advanced treatments work or not. That's astonishing. So every bite matters. When you eat to support your microbiome, you're not just improving digestion, you're enhancing immunity, reducing inflammation, and building resilience throughout your body. This isn't fringe science. This is the new frontier of medicine. Your gut is not a passive tube. It's a living, breathing defense center. And when you nourish it with the right foods, fermented, fibrous, diverse, you're activating one of your body's most powerful healing systems. You have more control over your health than you think. And it starts from within. It starts with food. When you walk through a farmer's market or the produce aisle and see a rainbow of fruits and vegetables, deep red tomatoes, vibrant orange carrots, dark green kale, bright yellow peppers, purple eggplants, what you're actually looking at is a pharmacy of natural chemicals. These colors aren't just beautiful, they're biological signals. Nature has color coded its medicines. Each pigment you see in plant-based foods is a sign of powerful bioactive compounds, molecules that your body recognizes, absorbs, and uses to heal and protect. This is why one of the most important things I teach people is this: eat the rainbow. It's not just catchy advice, it's a strategy for activating your body's defense systems. Let's start with red. That red in tomatoes, watermelon, and pink grapefruit comes from lycopene. Lycopene is a carotenoid that has been shown to have anti-angiogenic properties, meaning it can cut off the blood supply to abnormal cells, helping to prevent cancer from taking hold or spreading. But it does more than that. Lycopene also helps protect your skin from UV damage, supports cardiovascular health, and acts as a powerful antioxidant, neutralizing harmful free radicals that cause inflammation and aging. Now, take orange and yellow colors found in carrots, sweet potatoes, pumpkin, mangoes, and golden beets. These foods are rich in beta-carotene, a compound your body can convert into vitamin A, which is critical for vision, immune function, and cellular communication. But beta-carotene also supports DNA repair. That's right. Some of the damage caused by environmental toxins or even aging itself can be repaired with the help of these natural compounds. Moving to green, which is one of the most powerful categories, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, spinach, kale, and arugula are rich in glucosinolates and chlorophyll. Glucosinolates are sulfur-containing compounds that, when broken down in your body, help detoxify carcinogens. They literally switch on your body's internal defense enzymes. Think of them as an internal cleaning crew, scrubbing away potential toxins before they can cause harm. Now let's talk about blue and purple, the colors of blueberries, blackberries, red cabbage, purple carrots, and grapes. These hues come from a group of compounds called anthocyanins. These aren't just antioxidants, they're powerful defenders of the brain and the cardiovascular system. Studies show that anthocyanins can improve memory, slow cognitive decline, and reduce the risk of heart disease. One study even found that people who consumed more anthocyanin-rich berries had a 25% reduced risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. And then there's white, a color we often overlook. But don't underestimate white vegetables like garlic, onions, leeks, cauliflower, and mushrooms. These contain allicin, quercetin, and other anti-inflammatory, immune-boosting compounds. Garlic, for example, enhances the activity of natural killer cells, part of your immune army that seeks out and destroys viruses and cancer cells. This is where food becomes more than fuel. When you eat colorful plant-based foods, you're not just filling your stomach, you're communicating with your biology. These natural chemicals speak the language of your cells. They signal your body to reduce inflammation, protect your DNA, stimulate stem cells for regeneration, and keep your blood vessels healthy and stable. That's not hype, that's science. What's remarkable is how synergistic these compounds can be. In research labs, we've seen that combinations of food-derived chemicals can produce greater effects than any one nutrient alone. That's why no single superfood is the answer. The key is diversity. The key is variety. The key is eating the full spectrum, because the power is in the pattern, not just the parts. Let me give you a practical example. A bowl of salad that includes spinach, green, shredded carrots, orange, red bell pepper red, purple cabbage, blue purple, and avocado green. It doesn't just look pretty. It's a cocktail of defense fiber to nourish the gut, antioxidants to protect cells, anti-angiogenic agents to prevent abnormal growth, and healthy fats to help absorb all those nutrients efficiently. And here's the best part. It's not hard. These foods are not exotic. They're not expensive. They're not rare. They're just often overlooked or underused. And yet they hold some of the most powerful medicine we have.
Your plate is your canvas. Every meal is an opportunity to paint it with healing colors. The more vibrant your food, the more powerful your body's defenses. This isn't about restriction, it's about activation. And the more colors you eat, the more you empower your body to heal, repair, and thrive.
This is what food as medicine looks like. It looks like color. And when you embrace it, you turn every meal into a moment of resilience. One of the most exciting discoveries in modern medicine is this: your body can regenerate itself. And this isn't science fiction. It's not wishful thinking. It's a natural, ongoing process that happens inside you every single day. What's even more powerful is that certain foods can support and even activate your body's regeneration systems. This changes how we think about health. It means we're not just trying to prevent damage, we're working to reverse it. Let's look at how regeneration works. Your body is not a static machine, it's a dynamic, living system that's constantly being repaired and rebuilt. Every second, millions of cells in your body are dying off, and millions more are being born to replace them. Your skin renews itself every few weeks. Your gut lining replaces itself every 5 days. Your liver can regenerate itself after damage. And believe it or not, you have adult stem cells in your body right now, just waiting for the right signal to step in and repair tissue, grow new blood vessels, even restore function to damaged organs. So, what's the signal? In many cases, it comes from food. Let me give you an example. Dark chocolate. Not only is it delicious, but dark chocolate made with 70% cacao or more contains a bioactive compound called epicatechin. In clinical studies, epicatechin has been shown to stimulate the formation of new blood vessels, what we call angiogenesis, in the heart and muscles. This means chocolate can actually help regenerate circulation in people with compromised blood flow. Now, let's talk about green tea. You've probably heard about its antioxidant properties, but green tea does more than neutralize free radicals. It contains EGCG, a compound that has been shown to activate stem cells and protect them from damage. In one study, researchers found that EGCG could enhance the repair of damaged brain cells. That's right, something as simple as drinking green tea could support neuroregeneration. Then there's extra virgin olive oil. This is a cornerstone of the Mediterranean diet, and for good reason. It contains oleic acid and polyphenols that not only reduce inflammation but also support stem cell function. In populations that consume olive oil daily, we see lower rates of heart disease, Alzheimer's, and even certain cancers. It's not just the oil, it's what the oil is doing at the cellular level. Fatty fish, like salmon and sardines, provide omega-3 fatty acids, which are crucial for brain regeneration. Omega-3s help build and maintain the structure of cell membranes, especially in the brain. They also support the growth of new neurons and improve synaptic function, key for memory, learning, and emotional balance. Blueberries, one of the most studied fruits in nutrition science, contain compounds that promote neurogenesis, the creation of new neurons. In animal studies, diets rich in blueberries have been shown to improve memory and motor coordination even in aging brains. These effects are thought to be due to their ability to stimulate the brain's natural regenerative capacity. Here's something that surprises a lot of people. Your own bone marrow contains stem cells that can repair blood vessels and organs throughout your body. But these stem cells become less active as we age or if they're surrounded by inflammation, poor nutrition, or oxidative stress. That's why diet is so critical. When you eat foods that reduce inflammation, improve blood flow, and deliver the right nutrients, you're creating an environment where regeneration can happen naturally. One of the most promising areas of research right now is how to stimulate tissue repair after injury, not with drugs, but with food. In lab studies, certain bioactive compounds in foods like turmeric, pomegranate, and mushrooms have been shown to activate pathways involved in wound healing and organ repair. This is more than just prevention. This is restoration. I want to be clear, regeneration doesn't mean you can reverse every disease overnight. But what it does mean is that your body is not helpless. It's equipped with powerful mechanisms for self-repair, and you can help unlock them through your daily food choices. Every time you eat, you're sending a message to your body. You're either encouraging healing or you're getting in its way. Regenerative foods are not just about nutrients, they're about information. They contain signals that your body understands, signals that say heal, repair, rebuild. So think about that the next time you're preparing a meal. Ask yourself, is this food going to help me restore what's been damaged? Can it help my body bounce back from stress, injury, or aging? The science says yes, And that gives us something remarkable, hope backed by evidence. Regeneration is not a miracle, it's biology, and it's happening in you right now. One of the most powerful yet often overlooked truths in medicine is this: your body knows how to protect you. It has an intricate built in defense system designed to fight disease, repair damage, and keep you alive. And one of the key ways it does this is through a biological process known as angiogenesis, the growth of new blood vessels. Now, angiogenesis sounds technical, but it's actually a process that's happening inside you right now. Blood vessels are essential to life. They bring oxygen and nutrients to every cell in your body. When you cut your skin, it's angiogenesis that helps form new vessels to heal the wound. When muscles are exercised, angiogenesis helps build better circulation to support them. But here's what's fascinating. When angiogenesis is out of balance, either too much or too little, it becomes a root cause of many chronic diseases. Too much angiogenesis, for example, can feed cancer. Tumors hijack the body's normal vessel growing machinery and create their own blood supply, allowing them to grow and spread. It's like giving fuel to the fire. On the other hand, too little angiogenesis contributes to conditions like heart disease, where blocked arteries deprive tissues of oxygen. It's a delicate balance. But here's where food comes in, because certain foods can help your body maintain just the right level of angiogenesis. These foods don't act like drugs. They don't override your biology. They work with it, helping to restore balance. Let's start with green tea. It contains catechins, particularly one called EGCG, which has been shown in lab studies to inhibit abnormal angiogenesis, the kind that feeds cancer. But EGCG doesn't shut down healthy blood vessel growth. That's the beauty of it. It's selective. It helps your body target the problem areas while preserving what's working. Another example is soy. Now, soy has been controversial for years, but the science is clear. Soy contains isoflavones like genistein, which can also block harmful angiogenesis. In populations that consume traditional soy foods regularly, like miso, tofu, and edamame, we see lower rates of breast and prostate cancer. This isn't coincidence, it's biology in action. Turmeric, with its golden hue, contains curcumin, a powerful bioactive compound that's also been shown to regulate angiogenesis. In cancer research, curcumin has demonstrated the ability to cut off the blood supply to tumors, essentially starving them. At the same time, it supports the growth of healthy vessels needed for tissue healing. This dual effect is what makes food-based interventions so elegant. Berries, particularly strawberries and black raspberries, contain ellagic acid and other polyphenols that also have anti-angiogenic properties. In experimental models, these compounds have suppressed the growth of blood vessels to tumors and slowed cancer progression. But they don't just protect against cancer, they also protect the vascular system, keeping it flexible and responsive. Now, it's not just about cancer. Angiogenesis plays a major role in vision loss, particularly in age-related macular degeneration and diabetic retinopathy. These conditions are caused by abnormal blood vessels growing in the eye. And again, what we see is that certain foods like tomatoes, kiwi, and grapes contain natural inhibitors of this process. Clinical studies are now showing that eating a diet rich in anti-angiogenic foods can help slow or even prevent these types of vision problems. But angiogenesis is also involved in wound healing and cardiovascular recovery. After a heart attack, your body tries to build new vessels to bypass damaged areas. Foods that support healthy angiogenesis, like beets, pomegranates, and extra virgin olive oil, can help accelerate this healing process. They promote the growth of new vessels where they're needed most. The key takeaway is this: angiogenesis isn't good or bad, it's about balance. And what we now know is that your diet can help maintain that balance. When you choose foods that support your body's natural defenses, you're helping it do what it already knows how to do: prevent abnormal blood vessel growth where it's dangerous and encourage healthy growth where it's needed for healing. Let me put it this way: every time you sit down to eat, you're either feeding disease or feeding your defenses. There's no neutral. The science shows that foods can act like natural medicine, not because they're miraculous, but because your body responds to their molecular signals in intelligent, healing ways. So whether it's a cup of green tea, a handful of fresh berries, or a colorful salad dressed in olive oil and sprinkled with turmeric, these are not just meals. They're tools. They're part of your medical toolkit. They're ways to activate your body's built-in ability to protect and repair itself. This is what modern nutrition science is revealing to us. Food isn't just about calories or weight loss. It's about communication. It's information for your biology. And when you eat to support angiogenesis, you're choosing health at the cellular level. That's the kind of medicine that doesn't come in a bottle, but in a bowl, a plate, a garden. That's where the power truly lies.
Would you like key point 6 next in the same voice and format, or would you prefer a conclusion that ties all 5 points together into a speech format?
One of the most extraordinary things about the human body is its built-in immune system, a finely tuned army of cells and molecules working 24/7 to protect us. We often think of the immune system only when we're sick, when we catch a cold, get the flu, or fight off an infection. But in reality, your immune system is always on, surveilling every inch of your body, scanning for intruders, tracking down damaged cells, and maintaining internal order. And the fascinating part is that this powerful system is deeply influenced by the foods you eat. This is what I mean when I say that food is medicine. It doesn't just nourish your body, it speaks to your immune system. It tells your immune cells when to activate, when to stand down, and even how to recognize threats more effectively. Some foods can enhance your immunity, helping you resist illness, fight cancer, calm inflammation, and recover faster. Other foods, unfortunately, do the opposite. They confuse your immune cells, promote inflammation, and make you more vulnerable to chronic disease. Let's start with the foods that activate healthy immunity. One of the most well-known examples is mushrooms, particularly varieties like shiitake, maitake, and reishi. These contain beta-glucans, a type of soluble fiber that stimulates your body's natural killer, NK cells. NK cells are like the Navy SEALs of your immune system. They detect and destroy infected or abnormal cells, including early cancer cells. Beta-glucans give them the signal to be alert and ready. Then there's cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, kale, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts. These are rich in sulforaphane, which has been shown to boost the production of cytoprotective enzymes and modulate immune signaling pathways. They don't just strengthen immunity, they help fine-tune it, reducing unnecessary inflammation while keeping the immune system vigilant. Fermented foods like kimchi, sauerkraut, kefir, and yogurt are also key players. These are rich in probiotics, beneficial bacteria that help balance the gut microbiome. And here's what's critical to understand. More than 70% of your immune system is located in your gut. When your gut is healthy and populated with the right microbes, it acts like an immune training ground, teaching your immune cells how to distinguish between friend and foe. This is why maintaining gut health through fermented foods and fiber-rich plants is one of the smartest things you can do to support immunity. Let's not forget vitamin C-rich foods like oranges, kiwi, bell peppers, and strawberries. Vitamin C helps support the function of immune cells and enhances their ability to destroy pathogens. But the real magic happens when you get vitamin C from food, not supplements. In whole foods, it's packaged with other plant compounds that work synergistically to enhance bioavailability and reduce oxidative stress. Another overlooked immune-supporting powerhouse? Garlic. Garlic contains allicin, a sulfur compound with potent antimicrobial properties. It stimulates white blood cells and helps the body fight viruses, bacteria, and even fungi. There's compelling research showing that people who regularly consume garlic have fewer colds and recover faster when they do get sick. But while certain foods activate immunity, others regulate it, and that's just as important. Because an immune system that's always turned on can lead to chronic inflammation, autoimmunity, and tissue damage. This is where omega-3 fatty acids found in fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel come in. Omega-3s don't suppress the immune system, they help resolve inflammation after it has done its job. They tell the immune response, you can stand down now. That's essential for preventing long-term damage. It's also important to talk about polyphenols found in foods like berries, tea, coffee, dark chocolate, and olives. These plant chemicals help regulate immune signaling and support a healthy inflammatory balance. Some even have antiviral and antimicrobial properties of their own. Now, here's the deeper insight. Your immune system doesn't just fight infection, it also plays a role in cancer defense, tissue regeneration, and even mental health. In fact, emerging science shows that chronic low-grade inflammation, a sign of an imbalanced immune system, can contribute to depression, anxiety, and cognitive decline. So when we talk about boosting immunity, we're not just talking about avoiding the flu. We're talking about protecting the entire terrain of your body and mind. And what empowers this terrain? The food you eat every day. When you choose immune supportive foods, you're not just reacting to illness, you're building resilience. You're preparing your body to face the unexpected with strength. And this is something everyone can do today at the next meal. You don't need a prescription. You don't need a laboratory. You just need to think differently about your plate, because every bite you take is either feeding inflammation or feeding protection. And the foods that protect, mushrooms, green vegetables, fermented foods, fruits, healthy fats, are available, affordable, and within reach. This is the new medicine, not built in a lab, but grown from the earth, not hidden in a capsule, but found in your kitchen. Food is not just about survival. It's about defense, repair, and resilience. And when you use it wisely, your body listens and responds,